in charge of her own body, but her husband is. Likewise, the husband is not in charge of his own body, but his wife is. Do not deprive each other, except for a limited time by mutual agreement, and then only so as to have extra time in prayer, but afterwards come together. Otherwise, because of your lack of self-control, you may succumb to the adversary's temptation. In other words, what they're saying is we can't deny each other as husband and wife of what we desire and deserve. Because if my body is not mine, it belongs to my wife. So if she needs my attention, she needs my attention. And likewise, because somebody else can come along, desires of the flesh can kick in. And next thing you know, if that happens, that could lead to other problems. But if you give yourself like you're supposed to, then I'm looking at you because you're my wife, so I'm going to talk to you. Talk to me too. We've talked about that before. You know what I mean? Being for real. Being for real. You're not supposed to deny each other. So temptation can kick in. And you can go elsewhere. Also, the next one would be impurity, which is Strong's 5079. It means niddah, menstrual, unclean. Leviticus 18:19. You are not to approach a woman in order to have sexual relations with her when she is unclean for the time of her niddah. Back in the day, when they was on the niddah, were they put outside the camp back then? Or
yes, they were separated.
Yeah, they were separated back in the day. That's how serious Adonai was when a woman was on her niddah. Mm-hmm. So we can't approach a male should not approach a woman or even his wife during that time of her menstrual period, because she was considered unclean. You have to wait until it's over and done with. I'm sorry. Also, Ezekiel 18:6. He doesn't eat on the mountains or rise his eyes toward the idols of the house of Israel. He doesn't defile his neighbor's wife or touch a woman during her time of menstrual impurity. It says pretty much the same thing as the last scripture. The next one is greed, unjust gain or profit, or avarice, which is excessive greed, insatiable greed, or riches, to want more than what you need. A greedy person is somebody, a lot of people refer to greed as money. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of businesses nowadays, or you talked about it earlier, they acquire so much wealth and they can't take it with them, and they leave it behind. And they steal from people, you know what I'm saying? Even to the point of treating them unfair. And, that's just to the point of being greedy. Multi-billionaires, and True. You can't give anybody anything. You know what I'm saying? And, that's really uncalled for. Matter of fact, if more people was to share, we wouldn't have some of the issues we were having out here nowadays. People starving, you know what I'm saying? Even, what's going on out there in Michigan with the water supply. It's just enough money in this country where nobody should be starving for any reason. Numbers 11:4-6. Next, the mixed crowd that was with them grew greedy for an easier way of life, while the people of Israel, for their part, also renewed their weeping and said, if we only had meat to eat. Remember the fish we used to eat in Egypt. It cost us nothing, and the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks, the onions and garlic. But now we are withering away. We had nothing but this man. Adonai took them out of Egypt with they were in slavery because the Egyptians feared them because they were growing. So they figured they had them under slavery, and it was harsh. And through Moses, Adonai delivered Israel out. So meanwhile, while they're in the desert, they couldn't do anything to complain because they had nothing but man to eat. They were thinking not that they, if you read back all of the miracles that Adonai did, they seem to have forgotten about that fast. And some of the people that were contaminating, being bitter, as far as when Adonai delivered them out of Egypt, they couldn't think of anything but what they had, but not think of where they were going. You know what I mean? As far as being greedy. Another one is Deuteronomy 7:25. You are to burn up completely the carved statues of their gods. Don't be greedy for the silver or gold on them. Don't take it with you. Or don't be trapped by it, for it is abhorrent to Adonai, our God. In other words, greedy can lead to, when they took over different villages that they conquered, he told them to burn up everything. Otherwise they will be cursed. And even with the jewels and stuff that they found, he said destroy it anyway because he didn't want them, being greedy, wanted to keep everything. It will lead to, I guess, eventually idol worship, which he didn't want because our God is a jealous God. So, so he said, don't be greedy, taking something because it could lead you somewhere where you don't want to go. Okay, next one is stupid talk, coarse talk language, slander. Talking about people, gossip, negative talk, that could be involved with cursing, harshly joking, or saying stuff that can hurt somebody's feelings. People of Yahweh, we're not supposed to talk about people in a harsh language. We're not even supposed to have coarse words come forth through our mouths because eventually we'll be judged for every wrong thing that we say. So that's why he did put that in there. Idol worship, adultery, paganism, worshiping a created or man-made image, excessive devotion or reverence, or anything that replaces the Most High. 1 Corinthians 10:14. Therefore, my dear friends, run from idolatry. Run. He didn't say walk away. He said run. And adultery can be anything. It doesn't have to be a wood or stone image. It could be your car. It could be your house. It could be your spouse.
It's true.
Your children, your money. Anything that you can replace with the Most High. My wife told me I worshiped coffee one time. Yeah, she did, because I would miss service for a cup of coffee. Or I would get there late and she would miss praise and worship because I wanted a cup of coffee. I'd walk around the house with a cup of coffee in my hand. What in the world is he doing? I was worshiping it. You know what I'm saying? She told me, the Most High doesn't want you to worship anything but him. Wow, and anything that you put before him. And if I had to stop to get I still get a cup of coffee, but if it's going to make me late for service, I have to leave it because I'm putting it before the Most High. Mm-hmm. It's a form of adultery. I don't like that, but it's true. You know what I mean? But it's true. So if I can't get my cup of coffee, I can't get it.
It's true.
I got to walk out and get here. I would even say, babe, and what if it starts late? It doesn't matter. You're supposed to be here at a certain time. No matter what. You could miss out on a serious blessing, worshiping something.
It's true.
The next one is Revelation 21:8. But as far as the cowardly, the untrustworthy, the vile, murderers, sexual immoral, those involved with the occult, with drugs, idol worshippers, and liars, their destiny is a lake of burning fire and sulfur, the second death. I don't know about y'all, but that sounds kind of harsh, because the second death is eternal separation from the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Anything that we go through now is only temporary, because you just taught this morning, Pop, our life is like a mist.
It's true.
It says it in the Word. And the lake of burning sulfur and fire is eternal.
Wow.
Forever. Never getting out. Complete separation from the Most High. It sounds harsh, but if you love him, you'll keep his commandments and do what he says. And in that case, the way might be narrow, but I'd rather walk a narrow way for this short little time I'm here and reign with him forever.
And your son, it's deep how you said that it's their destiny. Mm-hmm. That was deep. Remember we talked about what that was? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Destiny. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The next one
God
is.
Of luck.
I'm sorry.
No, I was saying God of luck. Destiny. That's something.
Ephesians 4:22 through 24. Then, so far as your former way of life is concerned, you must strip off your old nature, which is a lot of these things I just mentioned what the word said, because your old nature is thoroughly rotted by its deceptive desires. And you must let your spirits and minds keep being renewed, and clothe yourselves with the new nature created to be godly, which expresses itself in the righteousness and holiness that flow from the truth.
Wow.
And I have some things here that can help you clean out your closet. And the first thing is read your Torah every day, even if you don't understand it. There's a whole lot of things I read in the Torah that I didn't understand, and eventually it'll get revealed to you. Sometimes you'll be led to read it again. Mm-hmm. So I'll read it again and again and again. Sometimes I still won't get it. You know what I mean? You might get it when you come into the house. You know, if you keep the Sabbath holy, you might actually get something out of it. You know what I mean? And a lot of things were revealed.
That's true.
When a lot of things were revealed just by sitting in the pews, learning,
Truth.
or picking up a book or talking to somebody. You know, so read it even if you don't understand it. The next thing is who's in your inner circle? You know, some of the friends you keep. Do you have some friends that curse a lot? Do you have some of them that lie, slander, you know, or double-mouthed? You know what I mean? Are you married, hanging around single people that like to hang out? Or, I mean, we know unsaved people all the time, but they shouldn't be your main source of company.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You should hang around like-minded people, like yourself. Somebody that's going to push you forward into where you need to be. Somebody that's not going to be afraid to correct you when you're wrong in love, you know what I'm saying? Or stop you from doing something that you're not supposed to be doing. Because it don't take much to slip off. That's why, you know, have somebody to pull you back if you're going on the path. You know, you over here, keep me straight.
Yes.
And we keep each other straight. As far as going back to the Torah, the more time you spend in the Torah, the more time you'll become like the Most High. I like to explain it like me and my wife when we go out to a restaurant. We spend so much time together. I ask her, what should I eat? And she can tell me because she knows me. You know, the more time you spend with the Most High, the more you will become like Him, to the point to where, you know, you'll want to give up certain things. You won't want to watch as much TV. You'll want to spend more time in His Word. You might not want to, you'll become more and more like Him. Even if you don't hear from Him right at the moment, you'll know, okay, y'all won't like that, so I can't do it. You know, as far as the prophet's concerned, you might not hear him at the moment, or you might not have a scripture run through your mind, but you know the Most High is not going to like what you're doing because you didn't spend time with Him. So you automatically know how to go about it. And some of the places and things you might want to stay away from, like bars, clubs, casinos, dark places where demons can hang out, and spirits and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, the spirit of lust can come upon you. I had that happen to me one time before. Somebody told me, don't go there. Don't go to the after party. I went anyway. And that was a mistake. You know what I mean? You know, I'm sorry. I'm speaking the truth. I mean, this is before we were married. You know what I mean? You know, that woman got a hold of me, and I didn't know what to do. I put my head down and walk away, but now, you know, it was a battle. You know what I'm saying? Because I had just got saved, and the spirit saying do this, but the body saying do that, and I was completely lost.
Yes.
Because they told me, don't go. Go to the wedding, take your behind home. No, I couldn't do that. So I got all jacked up. You know what I mean? You know, you can mess around and get borrowed spirits. And in the clubs, when you're dancing, when you're dancing here, you're dancing for the Most High. When you're dancing in the club, who are you dancing for?
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know, you can't serve both. There is no gray area, no in between. You're either going to serve the Most High or you're going to serve the adversary, one or the other. And when you're in the clubs, that's what it is. You know what I mean? Also, avoid certain things. You know, horror movies. There's all kinds of demonic stuff going on in horror movies. Worldly music. A lot of spirits in worldly music. They sing about everything in the world that's not of the Most High.
True.
Between money, lust, greed, violence, excessive TV, and I'm going to come out and say it, pornography.
Yeah.
You know, it's spirits and porn. You know, watching other people's, it's a form of perversion. And next thing you know, you're trying to experiment and everything else, and you're way off in deep space somewhere. You know, so those are the things that you want to avoid. And that was my message. I don't know if it was too fast, but
That was good. And any questions? Anybody?
oh, anybody have any questions? Mm-hmm. Oh. Excuse me.
I was listening. I was really listening well to you. But I just remembered one thing that really stuck in my head was you can't hoop with the owls and soar with the eagles. You can't do both. That club thing, the things that many people take commonplace. Yeah, I'm going to have a glass of wine after work. That takes time. And the value of time.
Yes.
And years ago, I used to try to hang on a Saturday night, lead, sorority girl, all that. But then the next morning, I got to get up. I know where I got to be. But you can't do both. You can't wash off enough of it. You can't be worn out. You can't soar as high as others if you've worn yourself out doing nothing the night before.
I mean.
Anybody else have any questions?
Were there some things that were taken out of your closet Were there some things that were taken out of your closet? You said you had a clean house. Were there some things that were taken out of your closet that you said, wow, haven't seen this for a while, but thinking about dibbling and dabbling or wearing that old coat again? Like old things. Like sometimes you don't know that you're dealing with something until it's brought to the forefront again. Like for instance, you think you're over an old boss who got on your nerves, but you don't see that boss anymore. But you see that boss again 5 years later, and you don't know that something raises up in you when you see that person again. So you said you had a clean closet. You were cleaning up, and it said, I think your word was called clean house. Or
Clean closet.
Clean your closet. So was there anything that you found to be in your closet that you had to actually deal with that you thought was already dealt with?
The thing that was found, the stuff that was found, it didn't bother me, but I knew I had to get rid of it because there was no sense of keeping it around. You know what I mean? You know, it could be a reminder or a weak moment. You know what I'm saying? So you just throw everything out, get rid of it. It wasn't any hurt feelings or anything like, oh, that's just I don't want to go through that again. It wasn't like that, but it didn't belong there, and if it didn't belong there, it had to go.
Good.
Any more questions?
Thank the streamers.
Oh.
Thank the streamers.
Oh. Thank you, streamers, for joining in. I pray that the word did something for you as it did for me. I pray that you were blessed by it. And just remember, what's in your closet? Clean out anything that is not of the Most High and fill it with everything that's from the Most High. On behalf of Apostle Raymond Stansberry and Pastor Joseph Stansberry, have a good day. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Amen. Yeah.
I do?
Am I need a word?